Hey folks, Jimmy here, aka Palette of the Dead. Welcome back to the channel and welcome to the latest issue of Warhammer Age of Sigmar Stormbringer magazine. Now, as per usual with all these videos, if you like them, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and of course, drop me a comment down below. I love hearing back from you guys. It goes a massive way to helping out with channel too. Now, this week we're on issue number 28 of Stormbringer magazine, and we get one of the Warhammer Underworld's warbands. But before we jump into that, obviously this video is a day late just because of the regular day job. If I tried to do it last night when I got home, I'm not going to lie to you. One, the video would have been really late. Two, it would have been done with a lot of yawning. And three, I just genuinely didn't have the energy to do it. So I would prefer to put out what I can as best as I can and give you guys hopefully a better viewing experience. Now, let's crack on with this week anyway. So this week we get some super cool minis with issue 28. We get Zarbag's Gitz, an out of print Warhammer Underworld's warbands for the Grots. These are cool. I genuinely like these minis. They're really nice. The Grots are quite fun, quirky, unique, and of course they have squigs, which are always quite funny. So really good stuff, and I'm really looking forward to that, utilising that warband. That's because they're pretty damn cool. Going into the issue though, first off we are greeted by the growing menace that is, the Gloomspite Gitz. In the hands of the Gloomspite Gitz, the bizarre cave fungi of the mortal realms can be a deadly weapon. These Grots seek out the most noxious and magical fungi that they utilise to make bombs, poisons, potent brews, and even fearsome beasts of war. So fungus is everything to the Gloomspite Gitz. Life underground and years of cunning cultivation have allowed the Gloomspite Gitz to master mushrooms of all kinds. Whether they're grot brewers, delighting in experimenting with new recipes, from hallucinogenic elixirs that leave their victims twitching and reeling, to berserker brews that turn even the weediest grot into a fearless killing machine, grot sorcerers and shamans that utilise mushrooms to enhance their magical powers and grant them visions of the future, and some grots even go to war swinging spore-spewing puffballs on long chains, masking the advance of their armies beneath choking clouds. Indeed, many of the hungry beasts prodded into war by the grots are not animals at all, but mobile forms of fungus called squigs, and they are as unpredictable and dangerous as the grots themselves. So, as you can tell there, squigs aren't necessarily an animal, they're actually a fungus, which is bizarre, isn't it really? And on the other page though, you do get a lot of different squigs, which are quite funny as well. So you get dangerous companions. They are one beast, many uses. So they can be cultivated into having wings, being giant. They can be just massive mouths. They can be hard as hell. There's loads of varieties to them, which makes them quite a weird, versatile, useless, and also useful kind of creature, because they are a bit soft, but they are absolutely bonkers. So really good stuff, and I do quite like a squig. They're just quite funny, aren't they? Then we move on, we get the Gloomspite Gitz page itself, so going through the Zarbag's Gitz, should I say. So, grots are bizarre creatures capable of much more than their stature would suggest. Few grots have outdone themselves more than Zarbag's Gitz, an unlikely group of adventurers who serve the Moonclan shaman Zarbag. They overwhelm their enemies with magic, steel, and biting squigs. So, as you can tell, Zarbag's Gitz utilise squigs and utilise magic, as well as their steel and the weapons that they can wield, to push forward and have a bit of fun. You also get the names for all the different characters from the Zarbag's Gitz. So there is Zarbag, there is Drizgit, the Squig Herder, Dibs, Progdenetta, obviously the one with a net, Redcap, Stickit, Bone Cracker, which is one of the squigs. You have Snurk, Sour Tongue, and then you also have Gobberlook, so another one of the squigs. Quite unique, quite different, very as I say, they are unique, they're quite fun as well, so really good stuff. Then we move on, we have our building page. Our building page is fairly simple, 9 minis to build though, and so there is a little bit to it. Some of them are very simple, and it is just literally cut them off, stick them on the base, done. Some of them do have a few extra parts to put together, including the squigs, so really cool though, and yeah, genuinely a kit I'm definitely liking the look of and I'm going to have a bit of fun with. Then we get our how to paint guide. How to paint guide, obviously very simple. Up to you how you want to follow it. I personally will be going very close to this colour scheme because, you know, they're grots and squigs. They will look like that. I mean, you can have slightly different coloured squigs, but I quite like the reddy orange squig. They look iconic, they look different, they look standard. So, you know, definitely worth a crack at that. Once you've followed the guide though, you will have something looking similar to that. There are ways of doing a lot more to it, and I personally will go through a different section for it, and we'll go a couple of next steps along to make it look just right. But not bad at all. Then moving forward, getting more of our core rules, all to do with wounds and wards, and how to utilise slain models and remove slain models from a field of battle and such like. So obviously this is all preparing you for when you're just having a regular battle, so without any step-by-step guidance. So if you're reading all of these rules, eventually you do get essentially the whole rule book's worth through these magazines, which is actually really good, and you get an idea of how to utilise a game and how to play the game in a certain way, and how each different thing matters to your playstyle, in all honesty. And then you also get the battle shock phase mentioned as well, so and how to utilise that, and utilising the end of each battle round, because the end of each battle round is as kind of important as every other phase of a battle round itself, and knowing how to utilise and kind of go through each phase is very much needed. So good fun. Then we get a bit of information and tutorial about the fact that you can use Inspiring Presence, which is a character stat and a character ability that can be utilised. So if you use an Inspiring Presence, obviously it inspires others and can stop them suffering as heavy casualties and stop them from running off from battle shock and stuff like that. So it helps out, so definitely worth needing to know about that information. And then we move on, we get our war scrolls for Zarbag's Gitz as well on here, because you are going to need these. And we also have the war scroll for Loon Shaman Fanatics, although we've not got the Fanatics yet, and we will be getting the Fanatics at some point in the near future. We also get tutorial of how to utilise things like the Gitz in their own capacities, and much more. So really good stuff. Obviously there's going to be a lot more coming in over the course of the rest of the magazine, and we will get more information as we go, which is pretty damn cool. Then we have our battle for the week. So our battle for the week, the Forces of Alliance, the Lord Imperator's 6 Griff Hounds, although we haven't got 6 Griff Hounds, 5 Vindicators, 4 Praetors, going up against Zarbag, Loon Boss, Zarbag's Gitz, Killer Boss with Stab Grot, 10 Gut Rippers, 10 Hobgrot Slitters, and Marsh Crawler Slockoth. So yeah, a lot of the Forces of Destruction going up against only a small handful for the Grand Alliance of Order. But yeah, really good stuff. Now, before I move on to the last page, obviously last week was Griffhound week, and everybody received 3 Griffhounds instead of 6. Hashit Partworks are on the case, and we should be getting the other 3 Griffhounds with issue 30. So in 2 weeks time, the other 3 Griffhounds everybody should be getting, and then you can have all 6 Griffhounds on your field of battle instead of just half the squad, which makes more sense. So yeah, so they are fixing it. It's not just a random couple of issues. It's every issue they have cocked up, so it's their own fault, and yeah, hopefully it won't happen again. Fingers crossed anyway. Anyway, moving on, next week we have a paint issue. So we have Barracknar Burgundy and Rune Lord Brass, both pretty decent colours to utilise as your paints, and we'll also learn more about the Realm of Heavens and more as well, so it'll be a more lore filled issue. Issue 30 is Hobgrot Slitters, and we get another 10 of them, so overall we're going to have 20 of the Hobgrot Slitters overall, which is a really good number, and obviously painting them up the same way the magazine does I disagree with, so you know, buy yourself a pot of Hobgrot hide from your local GW or stockist of GW products, because it'll look far better, and we also get more and more bits, and the use of objective markers as well, which is always very, very handy in a lot of these Warhammer games, so pretty good stuff there. Now, the thing I will say before I go, next week issue 29 will be delayed for me because I am actually away on holiday, so the video won't be out until Saturday afternoon, and you know, we'll go through and have a look at our paints and see what we can talk about then. But otherwise, some really, really good stuff coming up from the magazine. I'm looking forward to a lot of issues. There are going to be some really good ones, and yeah, some good fun to be had, let's just say that. Now, that's it from me. Thank you very, very much for watching as per usual, and I will see you sometime soon. Bye bye now.